presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
Big swings, big wins, big effort, big results. Arizona has now won 15 of their last 17, with last night serving as the offensive pinnacle. 15 runs, 19 hits, and a classic collection of opposite field attacks on the baseball. This sustained success has the Diamondbacks in unfamiliar territory of late. First place in the National League West tonight, Game 2. The hottest team in Major League Baseball plays right here at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. What a month of May it has been for the Arizona Diamondbacks. On the final game of this month, they go toe-to-toe with the Florida Marlins. All the action is on Fox Sports Arizona. Now, remember, when you look at the standings and you see where Arizona is, understand this. 2 weeks ago, they woke up, wherever they were, I can't quite recall, in last place. That's the run it has been. Winners of 15 of their last 17. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and it has been fun to see. The Diamondbacks trying to wrap up the month of May with 20 victories. If they do that, they'll be the only team in the major leagues with 20 wins this month. And Gracie, a big blast offensively last night for Arizona. It's been everything, pitching, relief pitching, defense, and offense. But you want to focus on one aspect of the offense that really was front and center, and that's hitting it the other way.
Yeah, exactly. And the guy I want to break out right now is Kelly Johnson. And he talked about the last 2 weeks in last place, Darren. Well, May 20th, remember that date. That's when Kelly Johnson started hitting the baseball on the barrel of the bat consistently. And it has really been the guy that's carried it offensively for the Diamondbacks. And I want to show you right now, if I can, some of the success that Kelly Johnson's having. Watch this. Bang! What? Look at the head. Even though you're going the other way, full extension, driving through the baseball, and it goes a long way, about 430 feet to left center. Now he's going to do it again, except this time I'm going to give you a side view. This is home run number 2. How pretty is that, folks? Head straight down the ball. Look at that power V on the backside. The stiff front leg driving through it. Hips going right towards where the ball is going to go. This one goes to left center too. Kelly Johnson is on a roll. 4 extra base hits last night. He is the guy leading the charge offensively.
It was a fun night, a single away from the cycle. Again, this club is finding new ways to win, leaning on guys that haven't been there all year, like Kelly Johnson, who stepped up in the last week. There might not be any hitting at all tonight as we talk about all that hitting, because Ian Kennedy is on the bump against Anibal Sanchez, the right-hander who, by the way, last time out shut out the San Francisco Giants. And Kennedy is on an 8-game run with a sub-2 ERA. This ought to be a lot of fun. It's been fun. Brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino and win up to $20,000 right away. Jack in the Box. Get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats. No blackout dates.
We are just a few minutes away from first pitch here between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Florida Marlins. You know, it's going to be hard to top yesterday's offensive explosion here at the Yard. D-backs with 15 runs, 19 hits. Tonight, I think we can expect more of a pitcher's duel, and why not? This is certainly the marquee matchup of this series between these two teams. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, it's Ian Kennedy. Anibal Sanchez goes for the Marlins. Now, Kennedy has been phenomenal for the D-backs, 6-1. He has racked up 5 straight wins. Sanchez is 4-1. He has rattled off 4 in a row, including a 5-hit shutout last Thursday against San Francisco. Kennedy right now is really in a groove. What's he doing so well? It's our Geico quote of the game. Here's D-backs pitching coach Charles Nagy.
Yeah, he's been very consistent with everything, with his workouts, with his preparation, you know, physically and mentally, and then going out there, the game plan, you know, he's prepared when he goes out there and he's able to execute his pitches and he knows what he wants to do.
Well, that's the pitching side of it. The D-backs also want to get some more offense. Can they rack up 20 wins in the month of May? We're back. Darren and Mark have the call. It's D-backs baseball. First place D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona.
Spending some time with us. Edwin Rodriguez still a little bit short-handed, trying to figure out what to do with Josh Johnson and his all-star shortstop as well. Our Pepsi Max starting lineup. He does have some hitters in there. Chris Coughlin, look at Logan Morrison on down there. Gabby Sanchez homered yesterday. He's fine with John Buck, says he's doing a great job as a catcher. The hitting will come. And then Bonifacio and Sanchez, 1 through 9. Brad already told you about Ian Kennedy just a bit. 26-year-old right-hander is 6-1 this year as he goes to work against Chris Coughlin. Glad to have you with us tonight. This club has been on some kind of a roll, and we are underway with strike one. Kennedy this year, his 12th start of the year, 6 wins, just 1 loss, an ERA just a tick over 3, 3.01. And that one, a low strike right below the knees. 0-2, the count on Coughlin.
What a way to start your evening. 0-2 right out of the gate for Ian Kennedy. Fastball away, then fastball in. Boy, just missed. He's throwing the ball right where he wants out of the gate, folks.
Loves this fastball for a guy who's about 90, 91, and we love watching him do it. There's a curveball bounces into the dirt. Now, the curveball, he only threw 10 times in Colorado, and I think when we see him pitch more and more in Denver, he just won't throw it much. And that's where the birth of the cut fastball came from, having to not have a curveball in Denver. So only threw 10 of them. You'll see more here at home. You will see more. There's a curveball, an ugly one. It's up. But Ryan Roberts with a long throw is there defensively. Didn't get it at all where he wanted to, that breaking ball. Coughlin in protection fought it off. Let's take a look defensively. David Robleski and Associates brings you the defense. A lot of range in the outfield. Roberts, Drew, Johnson, Miranda on the infield. And Miguel Montero behind the home plate, catching Ian Kennedy. He's played second. He's played third. In a pinch can play short, and Roberts also has played in the outfield for Arizona. As that pitch is high, 1-0 the count to Omar Infante. Now, you can't sleep on the Florida Marlins on the road. They're 16-10 away from home.
They're one of the better teams that a lot of people don't know about.
That one is driven, well struck into right center field. Young and Upton get together. Chris Young out front of the pool makes the play. First step on that play, Key, and Young was headed in the right direction.
Just a fastball pretty much in the middle of the strike zone. Infante might have got it just off the end of the bat of shade. It made a pretty good sound, but Young was able to snare it easily as it just kind of hung up in the air.
So from Infante to Logan Morrison. Some pretty eye-popping numbers for Morrison as the slugger digs in. And the left-handed hitter takes outside. Morrison and Kennedy have never met up in a regular season game. He was 1 for 4 last night. Also walked, struck out a couple of times. Boy, you like that if you're Kennedy. An extension of the outside corner, 1-1. Todd Titchener is behind home plate. As that one is low. That was a variation of the cut fastball right there. Just got on top of it, hooked it a little bit. The 2-1 from the right-hander. Little topper out front of the plate. Miguel Montero fielding and firing. Ian Kennedy. 1, 2, 3. Anibal Sanchez ready to go to work. Arizona last night. They get ready to go back to work. Kirk Gibson always keeps things shaken up in the lineup. So you see Ryan Roberts, who watched last night's game. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Kelly on a roll, Justin a 5-hit night. Drew trying to piece things together. Young great at home. Montero is hot. Miranda last week has been hot. Parra, the one guy who'd love to get going, and Ian Kennedy is on the mound. In the leadoff spot, Roberts. 7 times he has batted first this year for the Diamondbacks. And the first pitch sails up and into Ryan. Anibal Sanchez, 27-year-old right-hander out of Maracay in Venezuela. The numbers presented by our good friends with Lincoln, as that one is outside, a breaking ball. Start number 11, he's got a couple of complete games coming off a shutout.
Coming off a complete game shutout, but also as that one's lifted in the air, is there room? There will not be. Oh, May 8th, 7 innings of shutout ball. His next start, May 14th, 8 innings of shutout ball. And then his most recent start on the 26th, 9 innings of shutout ball. He's going to hate to see May go.
And he has been on a big-time roll.
Whoa, just missed.
2-2 the count of fastball sails over the head of Roberts. Roberts, when batting leadoff those 7 times, has walked 6, has 7 hits, and on base of 394 as a leadoff hitter. Change up on 2-2. Nasty pitch. Wow. Let's take a look defensively for the Florida Marlins as how they go to work. And a good outfield. They cover a lot of ground with Morrison, Coughlin, and Stanton, who's a beast in right. Dobbs, Bonifacio, Infante, Sanchez at first. John Buck catches. And Anibal Sanchez pitches. Former Diamondback, Emilio Bonifacio is at short. Hanley Ramirez could be in the lineup tomorrow. I emphasize could be, said his manager.
Well, how about Kelly Johnson? Greg Dobbs, third baseman, said, man, you hit 2 home runs and had 4 extra base hits. You're going to bunt on me? No, I'm going to swing it.
1-1.
Comes up empty.
You spoke of that day he had yesterday. The season wide, you can see a .224 batting average. He was 4 of 6. He had a double. He had a triple. He had a pair of home runs yesterday, did Kelly, as that one is low and in. And if you missed us coming on the air a few minutes ago, Gracie talking about the comfort level for a hitter when he starts to roll of driving it the other way. Pulled that one. That was a changeup. But let's go back to last night. It was nights like those, Gracie, as a hitter, you never forget them, do you?
Exactly. And what we're talking about is letting the ball travel. Even though you're going the other way, you're still getting full extension. This is a ground rule double there that got over the head. There's another home run. Getting full extension even though you're going the other way. That's when you know you're getting dialed in.
Justin.
But as you said, Darren, and we said it last night, I don't see a team scoring 15 tonight with this pitching matchup.
Nope.
Sanchez, one of the better right-handers in the game. And by the way, so is Ian Kennedy.
Justin Upton again. High fly, deep left field. Upton out of here. Hit it into Fridays last night. Tonight picks on a hanging breaking ball.
Look at his body language. Look at his body language. This is the same guy a week ago was firing helmets and was upset with himself, cursing himself out. Boy, he just sat right on that breaking ball and got full extension and just creamed it down the left field line. Boy, these guys they're impressing me. I don't know about you folks out there, but color me impressed.
And for Upton, as we mentioned, 11 home runs, a Fulton Holmes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. 0-2 the count. Something to take note of, and it was an under the level mention by Edwin Rodriguez, and it was before the game today. But managers don't just say things without a little bit of design. We know Kirk Gibson.
That got him.
And that's about what I was going to tell you. I didn't get it out of my mouth. Manager Edwin Rodriguez said before the game, I need my pitchers working inside a little bit. The Diamondbacks were very comfortable last night in the batter's box.
I got no problem with that.
He said that before the game. I was long-winded in telling the story.
And I'll guarantee you Kirk Gibson's got no problem with that. When you put up a 15 spot, Darren, you and I talk about it all the time. We'll sit there and say, this team just banged out 19 hits, scored 15 runs, and not one guy has had to move their feet as far as in the batter's box. Well, another tape measure shot off the bat of Justin Upton, an 0-2 pitch. Man, I'm coming in. you know what? I got you. Go ahead and go on to first.
And you could sense there was just a bit of an edge. I want to make it clear. Not anger in that Marlins locker room. They're a good team, and they handle themselves like they are. But that was the one mention that was made very crystal clear by Edwin Rodriguez when he spoke with the media, and it was very under the level. To right field, well struck. Stanton going back, and the play is made. Drew on 0-2, had to wear one. The batter previous of that, Justin Upton. Continuing a hot couple of days back home. Arizona leads at 1-0. It's going to be fun tonight. Of 1-0 as the right-hander goes to work. He's got Gabby Sanchez to deal with first. Upton with the home run in support of his starting pitcher after a 5-hit night with a mammoth blast into Friday's last night. And I'll tell you, Gracie couldn't have described it any better to you folks. The fact that Upton is about a week removed from being down in the dumps. I mean, literally being sat down by his manager, not in punishment. I want to be crystal clear on that. Not in any sort of a wake-up call, but just to clear his head. Gibson saying his head is just not clear. He's going to watch. He watched on Saturday.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that to one of your star players.
And that's what I was just sharing with the fans. There was by no means he wasn't trying to send a message or give a wake-up call.
And Gibby sees a lot of himself in Justin Upton. And he used to say, man, I used to be my own worst enemy out there. Sometimes I just couldn't get out of my own way. And Justin was starting to fight himself a little bit, got a day off, and, 7 of his last 8?
Gabby Sanchez, what a pretty piece of hitting. Here comes Upton with a dive! He cannot make the play. Sprawled out. Beautiful protection. I mean, just a great piece of hitting and survival.
We say it all the time anymore. When you put the ball in play, you give yourself a chance. The excellent effort there, and he overdove it, got it right in the forearm.
So Sanchez is on.
But you love the effort there from Upton as well.
Yeah, we're talking about Upton. Just to quickly finish the thought. May 19th to May 22nd, Justin was hitless in 15 at bats. He was dragging an 0 for 15 around with him. And you could see it.
Oh, sure.
You could see that anvil around his neck.
Yeah, Justin pretty much lets you know how he's feeling.
Since Kirk Gibson gave him the day off and said, we're not going to see you in this ball game. And it was a laugh for Arizona, won big. Since that day off, and since piecing it back together, 11 of 25.
And I'm sure he got it from the boys in the clubhouse and the locker room. See, we get you out of lineup, we can start doing some things. Of course, the regular guys and the stars always hear that, as that one's fouled off by Greg Dobbs.
Dobbs in there last night for a handful of plate appearances against a left-handed pitcher. New for him this year, the veteran. His skipper before the game said it won't be the last time. He wants to see him in there, does Edwin Rodriguez, against left-handed pitching some more. He's having a great year.
Oh, dear. That was that cutter inside. I think he fouled that off his thigh. I mean, you talk about crowding a guy right on his belly button. What a pitch from Ian Kennedy.
Again, that cut fastball because of, as the Marlins await and try to figure out Ian Kennedy, because of the altitude in Denver, he threw it a lot last time. He threw it 29 times to cut fastball. That's a lot. Curveball into the dirt. He did not go around. Right away checking was Todd Titchener, and Greg Gibson said he didn't.
And the curveball really wasn't Ian Kennedy's friend in Colorado, and it's not his friend right here either. He just overcooks it. Not much of a chance there for Miguel Montero, so a free 90 feet for Gabby Sanchez at first base, and now that all-important double play is no longer in order. So now Ian Kennedy going to have to do some fancy pitching to put a 0 up.
Ian has rolled 6 of those double plays up this year, and that goes by the wayside. Marlins trying to bounce right back. Longtime Philadelphia Philly Dobbs.
Another breaking ball. Another breaking ball in the dirt. That time Montero is able to snuff it out. And we'll do it again.
Ian believes in that curveball, and when you believe in it, you'll bounce it. He led the National League in wild pitches last year. What's he throwing on 3-2? It's a fastball.
It was a really well-placed fastball as well. That's a nice job by Greg Dobbs. Just staying alive, if you will.
So if you're Dobbs, and you see this pitch a moment ago, if you're Dobbs, have you eliminated the curveball at this point?
Yes, I have. I would have eliminated it after the wild pitch, to be honest with you, but Ian Kennedy threw another one and bounced another one.
Change up. Belted center field. Young tracking. He's got it! Fine play, Chris Young. Runner tags and heads there.
Great play by Chris Young. He's okay. Took away 3 bases at least from Greg Dobbs. Kennedy threw a changeup. Looking to a spot, looks up, or I'm sorry, running to a spot, looks up, bangs into the wall. He's just fine, gets it in. Really good base running there by Gabby Sanchez, tagging up and getting to third.
Well, this is his ballpark, and he knows it so well.
He's always been a good defender, but he's improved tenfold this year, if you ask me.
Stanton buzzed up and in. Talking with Stanton before the game about being pitched inside, and right away he sees it. I'm not talking about like what we were talking about a moment ago with the manager of the Marlins and Edwin Rodriguez. I'm talking about a big slugger with long arms. You got to keep him honest. Doubled up inside on him, 2-0. He said, you know, I used to deal with being pitched inside in the minor leagues, but they weren't very good at it. They'd either hit me or miss out over the plate. Stanton said, now it's tough. He said, being pitched inside the big leagues, it's a huge challenge. That one is outside.
This is a pitch around. This is absolutely a pitch around with John Buck on deck. Stanton, he have 11 home runs and one of the young rising stars of the game. Well, John Buck is a rock-solid catcher. Change-up 3-0. That's a fastball. I take that back. But he was way out in front of it.
I think he might have got it on the side of that one a little bit. That might have been that little cutter. That's what killed the velocity just a touch. 88. 3-1 the count. Outside, that's exactly what it was. They don't get any strikes out of that if he doesn't 3-0 swing on the cutter away.
Yeah, I think Kennedy tried to put the 3-0 cutter away a foot outside and happened to get it a little closer for a swing, but This is a catcher coming into the game hitting 207. He's got a little power with 5 home runs, but he's also a guy that doesn't run very well. If you can get a ground ball to an infielder, you can get out of this inning with a double play.
Kennedy's ground balls are up this year, but still skews as a fly ball pitcher. That one is fouled off.
It's that same cut fastball. It seems to be a weapon that he likes and starting to trust, Darren.
Yeah, it really truly is. Remember, he spent last year as a teammate, or at least up until Dan was traded, with Dan Herron. And Herron, a guy who pitched with a curveball, the split instead of the changeup. But he watched Dan use that cutter as a weapon, a true weapon. And Ian's a guy who pays attention. Very cerebral how he goes about his business.
I didn't know ball players and cerebral went hand in hand.
Occasionally. It has to when you don't throw 98.
Oh, what a fastball in that time to jump ahead 0-2. Todd Tishner, the home plate umpire, he took the brunt of this foul ball, but it was a pretty pitch inside, right off the shoulder of Tishner. But now Ian Kennedy can dig deep into his bag of tricks, as you see just how in on Buck that was. But now he can go to any of his pitches and try to get that strikeout here at Buck. Let's see if he goes to that changeup after the fastball in. He climbed the ladder. He went complete opposite of what we were thinking. He went up the ladder and just blew away John Buck. That's why they pitched around Stanton right there, folks, because he just cleaned John Buck's clock.
And so now, with 2 outs, the infield certainly has to be on their toes. They may even cheat in a step with the speed of Bonifacio.
Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here is to maybe pitch really carefully to Bonifacio with the pitcher on deck. That wasn't careful. That's just challenging you right down Broadway.
0-1 the count.
Because this is one of those, one of those guys that are faster than lizards. You ever try to catch a lizard? Good luck. Better get a good jelly jar. Oh, boy, nice play there by Miguel Montero. Another curveball, Darren, that he's just spiking right into the ground in front of Miguel Montero. Now, I understand Ian Kennedy, that's one of his weapons, the curveball, folks, and he's got to find that feel for it if he's going to be successful, but I don't know if it's at the risk right now of a wild pitch. Nice play there by Montero.
Roberts way in at third. Got away with the cut fastball that was up, but far enough in. 1-2 the count. It's got to be in the back of your mind. I guess if you're Bonifacio, I ask you the same question. Have you eliminated the curveball? If you're Emilio, is the curveball done? And we'll see.
No, I don't think it's done yet. I'm not saying he's going to throw it, but I'd still have to have it in the back of my mind.
The 1-2. There it is.
There it was, and he bounced it, but he certainly got the swing and miss. Nice job by Ian Kennedy. After walking Stanton, back-to-back strikeouts. Let's go to break.
Our text poll tonight, 36929. Well, here it is. Should we trade Mark Grace for Tommy Hutton in the 4th inning? Oh, yeah. Should we trade him? A, yes, B, no, or C, we need a draft pick added on. 36929. Tommy Hutton, nearly 50 years in professional baseball, has done a great job. And, of course, Tommy Hutton, 47th year overall, 17th as a player, 30 years as a broadcaster. He's been forever and ever with these Marlins. And they're discussing it over there, so we'll see. High fly into right center field. The ballpark should hold it. Gracie, I want to get back to our fans in the text poll, but as Miggy jogs off the field, we can't lose sight of how important he was in that last inning as well with Ian Kennedy.
Oh, he was blocking everything. There was a wild pitch that got Gabby Sanchez to second base, but then Miguel Montero, he became a wall behind home plate. Ian Kennedy continued to bounce breaking ball after breaking ball, and Montero blocked every one of them, saved a run, and got Ian Kennedy out of that inning. Well, Ian Kennedy got himself out of that inning, but not without a lot of help from his backstop.
And that's why I asked Gracie that question, folks. As a left-handed hitter against a pitcher, as Juan Miranda takes a pretty curveball, you know, are there times that you just say, I can't look for that pitch anymore in this at bat? It just hasn't been good enough.
Something told me that that the breaking ball was still going to be a friend of his against Bonifacio. Now, I thought after the wild pitch, then it would be done on the batter. It was, I believe, Dobbs.
Sure.
It was Dobbs. But then after, I think Ian Kennedy realized, okay, you know what, Miguel's back there blocking everything right now. I think that made him realize I'm going to have to use it because it's a very important weapon to Ian Kennedy, Darren. You know that.
And you're right about having the feel for the pitch. You can't just evacuate a pitch and just let it run from your arsenal that night. You can't be foolish and stay too married to it. Change up, fly ball. Been one mistake in this ball game, and Justin took advantage of it. He hit his spot with Stephen Drew, by the way. Anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase, 4 to 6 the following day. I was speaking with several members of the Diamondbacks before the game about preparing for Anibal Sanchez. They made it clear we're preparing for all 4 pitches that can be thrown in any count.
And he's got great command of all of them. And talking with some of the Marlin guys before the game, they're saying the same thing. This guy is throwing any of his pitches anytime, wherever he wants. That's always bad news for an offensive player. It's one thing to be able to have a guy out there that maybe he's got his good fastball and curveball, but usually he's feeling for his changeup or split finger. He's feeling for his slider. When a guy is throwing all of his weapons at you, makes you want to go home.
He's 27 years old, Maracay in Venezuela. Signed as a free agent with the Boston Red Sox in 2001 as an amateur. And he was in that pretty big trade. I'd say it was a blockbuster in 05.
He was a big old boy.
Jesus Delgado, Hanley Ramirez. This man, Anibal Sanchez, to Florida for Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, and Guillermo Mota. Broke his bat. Went in at 91. He looks sharp tonight. purple vault. Let's go back in time, 2000. Big Mac, Mark McGuire, Finley coming on. He'll make the play, but wait a minute. The runners are on the move, tagging at the plate. There's one. Miller fires it on a cross. Womack with the tag, a triple play. And taking a look, Matty, obviously.
He was spectating, wasn't he? Get your nose in there, Matty. Make that play at third. What are you having Tony Womack come over and get all the credit for?
Well, he stepped aside. Love cracking open the purple vault.
There was some big league ball being played back then.
To the right side. So that being said, should Arizona win this game tonight, and they would put together an 18-game stretch with 16 wins in those 18 games, they've never done that in an 18-game stretch. Never. So
that's hard to do.
When you talk about that kind of ball that was being played, you're right. And I was afar watching as the boys in purple did amazing things.
Yeah, I asked a couple of guys when you were down doing some work earlier today, as that one's grounded up the middle. Kelly Johnson can't get it. And Anibal Sanchez.
Third hit of the year.
And I was asking Scott Snyder, our fine stage manager, and of course our fine statistician Kurt Zacher. I want him to look it up. Have I ever been on a team this hot? And the answer was no.
Really, as a player,
as
never.
a player, 16 years in the major leagues, I was never on a team that won 15 of 17.
Here's Chris Coughlin.
Which surprised me with all those good Cub teams I played for.
1-0 the count to Coughlin.
I mean, I was shocked.
1-0 the score. Somehow I doubt the sincerity of that statement. Good fastball, 1-1 the count. Popped up to, or I should say grounded out to third back in the first inning, did Coughlin. As the former one-time New York Yankees farmhand, Ian Kennedy, fires a fastball outside, 1-2 the count.
He's ready back and throw a couple back-to-back fastballs right by Coughlin.
Left-handers against Kennedy this year hit just .244. Only one long ball this year to a left-handed batter.
Gas again. Darren?
What do you have over there?
Pardon me for a second, but a very important statement to make here. That Father's Day is just right around the corner. You know that. So plan on spending the day with Dad at Chase Field. Be one of the first 5,000 dads at the D-backs game against the White Sox on June 19th and take home a D-back barbecue set. Get tickets at dbacks.com or call 602-462-4790.
Solid read. Here is Omar Infante as we quickly move along. 1-0 the count, but that's a great giveaway and a great gift. And think about Dad. Infante acquired this past winter. Dan Uggla went to the Braves. Mike Dunn and Infante came down to South Florida, stayed within the division. Safe to say that when two teams within the division make a deal that they really are getting what they want back.
Well, you would think so. Two rivals. I really like that guy. Oh, boy, he yanked a changeup. No chance there for Miguel Montero. Another wild pitch. That's the second one of the game for Ian Kennedy.
And you know it's wild when the pitcher has no choice but to get on his horse. It barely squeezed into the bottom left corner of Fox Tracks there.
I'm surprised it did.
2-1 the count.
Yeah, that was officially a wild one.
Church's Fried Chicken Fox Tracks, by the way. Sounds pretty good right about now.
Very good friends at Church's, exactly.
Topper on a cut fastball. Roberts looks the pitcher back to second.
That's very impressive by Ian Kennedy. You know that wild pitch that was so wild that our Church's Fried Chicken Tracks couldn't even get? The very next pitch was the same pitch, a changeup, but this time he believes in that pitch so much, that time he threw a dandy and got the out. That's the kind of confidence we're talking about right now with Ian Kennedy. I would have thrown that changeup right out of my mind, Darren, and I think that's what happened there with Infante.
Morrison takes a changeup that dips out of the zone. 1-0 the count. A little number out in front of home plate. Miguel Montero gobbled it right up. Infante might have dismissed it, and he got him with it. Fastball, a thing of beauty. 1-1 to Morrison. Taking a peek at what's going on in St. Louis, the Cardinals have grabbed the lead now on top of San Francisco. 4-3 is the score. St. Louis, ninth inning, leading San Francisco. Top of the ninth. St. Louis is on top. Takes that one right out of the catcher's mitt.
Real defensive swing there, wasn't it?
Of course, Arizona coming in 1/2 game in first place, ahead of the San Francisco Giants. 1/2 game up. Diamondbacks have won 7 in a row. Well, you throw a changeup, you have a defensive swing, then maybe a changeup in the mind, and that 92 looks like it's 100. Maple Woods Community College.
Some good ones have come out of there. One real good one that we know of.
Well, tonight's Cardinals third baseman, Albert Pujols, third baseman out of Maple Woods Community College. At the start on the other side of the diamond
they
tonight.
Found a better first baseman in St. Louis.
That one is fouled off.
That was a really good pitch there by Kennedy, but it was spoiled by Morrison.
Yeah, Logan was a 22nd round draft pick in 2005 out of Maple Woods. Like Pujols, grew up in the Kansas City area and the Missouri area. Curveball, that's a good one, but he didn't go around.
That's exactly right. It sure was a good one.
Two and two, the count. Into the dirt. There's Montero again.
He's earned his keep early in the ball game, folks. Another changeup that just gets spiked right into the ground. Touchdown, Larry Fitzgerald. Spike it. No. Nice play, Montero. But now a 3-2 count. Morrison's battled back. Yeah, settle down. Settle down. Throw what I want here. Give it to me.
The count is full. The pitch is a shot, and it's foul.
All right. That's Doc down there.
Is that Doc Rosenblatt?
Yeah, that's Doc Sid Rosenblatt down there.
Our Golden Glovers do a great job.
There's a good look at Doc.
Nice.
Catch it, Doc. Oh, Doc. Oh, he's one of our fantasy campers, folks. He comes down in his 60s, and he just plays, well, terrible, as you can see. He wanted no part of that, and I don't blame him. That ball was blistered. Look out, Doc.
I tell you, he's better than that, though. He's better than that.
Well, he needs to be, because that was awful.
The 3-2. Got him. Fastball up and away and blew him away. And leaves the runner in scoring position.
But we love Doc.
Nothing is the score. Anibal Sanchez back in September of 2006. The right-hander was fabulous. He got guys like Orlando Hudson and Connor Jackson and Gonzo and Eric Burns and Chad Tracy and on down the list. They all came up empty. That was a no-hitter. It was a fabulous game. As Sanchez on the bump celebrated history. It was his 7th win of the year, and it was a no-hitter, beating Edgar Gonzalez and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks have handled him very nicely since.
Got sent to the minors later in that season.
O-Dog, the leadoff hitter in that game. Swing and a miss as that one dives down and away. Miguel Montero was in that game.
Yes, he was.
Eric Burns was in that game.
That's what makes it so shocking how somebody could no-hit a lineup with Eric Burns.
1-2 the count. Right down the middle. That's strike 3. Here is Ryan Roberts.
Well, you know, our buddy and colleague Joe Borowski was on that Florida Marlins team.
I think he was warming up in the pen in case they needed him.
He was. I think they made the right decision keeping him in the bullpen, don't you?
I think so.
I'll bet you Joe Bo can hear me, can't he?
Oh, yeah, he can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Appreciate it.
They didn't need you that night, though.
I agree with that decision.
Okay, Joe. If they'd asked you to come in, would you have just felt awful about it?
I was praying that they wouldn't. I was trying to throw the least amount of warm-up pitches possible.
Yeah, because you don't want to come in that one.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I knew I'd just mess it up.
Because Todd Walsh would have to interview you after the game instead of Anibal Sanchez.
That's true.
But that would have been a sign of things to come, maybe, Gracie. I mean, Joey only threw 103 pitches.
You know what I think it was? He was coming off being injured, and he was getting up there, and it was a hot night. And believe me, that's the last thing I wanted to do was get up during that. I thought it was a joke when they called down.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
I think they were getting him ready maybe in case he had to face Eric Burns if they needed him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Roberts nicks a changeup, and he's got a really good one tonight. His changeup and the amount that he uses it is way up this year. And because of that, he's seen ground balls increase. And none of that is ever a problem. More ground balls than ever, more changeups than ever. Fastball just misses the outside, and his strikeouts are up this year. He's going through
the real deal.
So far, the finest year of his career. Got to get to 200 innings, though. It's become a bit of a burr under his saddle.
Good at bat there by Ryan Roberts, laying off a tough slider.
Let him know about it, too, when he took the walk.
Yeah, he's proud of himself. He had a good at bat. Yeah, he kind of gave him a little bat flip there. It's all right.
There's a little bit of an edge to that man, isn't there?
I like it.
I know
a much needed edge for this ball club.
Well, that's, of course, the David Eckstein conversation a couple of years back when he was acquired, sharing with folks on his way out how grateful he was for a chance to play in a pennant race, and telling some of the key folks in this organization that it's a very comfortable place to play. And they said, well, thank you. And he said, I didn't mean that as a compliment.
That's not a compliment. These guys are very comfortable. And I think also you're starting to see a little more of that edge and gas right by Kelly Johnson. But remember when we had Mark McClune interviewing Ryan Roberts' mother in Houston a couple of days ago? Called him her little firecracker. Well, I think when you're a guy that doesn't play very much on a ball club, maybe once a week, maybe once every 10 days, the way Ryan Roberts was, last year and the year before. Well, it's tough to put your personality onto a team. You're just happy to be here. You're just wanting to fit in, not rock the boat. Probably just stay away from it, because if they see you, they might send you down.
Right.
That's kind of the way you feel. Well, I think he's finally putting his he's comfortable in his own body now in the major leagues, and it's because he's had success the first couple of years, or first couple of months.
The 1-1. That one is low and inside. By the way, that's great analysis, but we may be trading you anyway. What? As we take a look at our text poll.
Well, what are you talking about?
You gave us some good insight on Ryan Roberts. And the folks, well, Tommy Hutton, they say, well, 0%. So I guess you're staying.
But what if they get a draft pick?
Oh,
then I'm gone.
I'm told they're throwing one in. All right.
Big Thunder?
No, not Barrett Laux.
That was a great draft pick.
2-1 the count, so he's coming over. I'm going to miss you. Good luck to you. Say hi to the folks in Miami for me.
Do I have a safer in this thing?
Nope. Uh-oh, he goes over the top of it. Roberts in a rundown will try and do everything he can. And he is tagged out. So a swing and a miss. Roberts a big secondary lead.
It looked like he gave Infante nice little shoulder, maybe an elbow, because Infante was not real pleased. Now this is going to take a while to get to, but watch the possible elbow. Let's see if it's legit or he kind of ducked his shoulder, maybe tried to break it loose. Nothing too dirty about that.
That pitch is in. Now that's the kind of analysis the folks of Miami will really enjoy. A little number out towards third. High stepping it, throwing on a cross in time. That's a fine play by Greg Dobb.
I'm out of here, guys.
Not a moment too soon.
Thanks.
Take care. Out. Complete. We're getting to know these Florida Marlins a little bit better. Tommy Hutton, it's always a treat to talk with you.
All right, Sud, good to see you.
A long time in Major League Baseball, and for you, a long time with these Florida Marlins, and I would imagine very proud of who the Marlins are as a franchise moving into this new stadium next season.
I tell you what, everybody is excited to get into the new ballpark, which is over 70% completed already.
Change up out front is Gabby Sanchez. We have our perspective on Ian Kennedy. Obviously, we hear what he's trying to do as an opposing announcer. What are your thoughts so far watching Ian?
Well, I tell you what, Rich Waltz and I, my partner over on the Marlins telecast, have been talking about the similarities a little bit tonight in Kennedy and Anibal Sanchez. They're not big guys. They're about 6 feet. They're not overpowering. Kennedy probably has a better changeup. And Sanchez moves the ball around, sliders and curveballs, and has a good moving fastball.
Tommy Hutton, the analyst for the Florida Marlins, joining us for an inning. As Greg Dobbs, who has found bright scenery in South Florida to his liking, serves it into left field. A real career resurgence with the Marlins.
This guy has been absolutely tremendous. He went to spring training. He didn't have a job. He was a non-roster player. He had gotten out of that swing right there his last couple of years with the Phillies. He had some big years as a pinch hitter. Tried to hit a few too many home runs there, and now he's gotten back to that line drive swing. He's done it since spring training, just like that.
There's a place for him, though. I mean, a daily spot for him, correct?
Yeah, he's in there pretty much. He started last night against Saunders, the left-hander. He hadn't seen many lefties all year. But against righties, he's hitting over 360.
Here's Mike Stanton. Diamondback fans have been marveling watching this young athlete play. As that one is inside 1-0. The count. You know, I was talking to Mike before the game about being pitched in. He said it didn't happen as much in the minors, or it didn't happen effectively as much. He said, I've gotten used to it in the majors, being pitched in.
Guys have a little more command in up here.
Hot shot, tried to get it in. He was ready for it. That's exactly what we're talking about. And he can run. Dobbs out front slows things down a bit. But a double for Stanton. So strong. He was ready for that pitch. And it looked like they were trying to get inside.
Yeah, that's the way pitchers have pitched him. They try to work him in and then go away. Very similar to most big guys. He's adjusting. We keep forgetting that he's still only 21 years old. And that breaks an 0 for 14 that he had. He had a great series in San Francisco. Really struggled in his hometown in L.A. So it's good to see him break out of it with that.
The Marlins made a commitment this winter to a fairly long-term deal with this man, John Buck. You see the base runners out there for Buck. And I know Buck wants to be doing a little bit more offensively. But his skipper before the game, as that one is popped up. Let's see if there's room first for Miguel Montero. Your skipper before the game was making it clear when Edwin was talking about Buck that we're pretty happy with the work he's done with our pitching staff. What have you seen?
Yeah, you'd like to see a little more offense, but the pitching staff has really responded. When they signed him to the 3-year deal, the first thing he did was get video of all the pitchers, and he wanted to learn them as much as possible. And he has. He's helped Leo Nunez, the Marlins closer, in the bullpen. They were together in Kansas City a little bit.
Runners on second and third. Kennedy with his back against the wall. Breaking ball. Miguel Montero's been key so far in this game. Kennedy has not given up on his curveball because Miguel, all but once, has blocked it up very nicely.
That's fun when you get to see a guy every fifth day or a player every day. Is Kennedy on the top of his game today?
Close. That curveball's not there. It's not there as he wants it. He's bounced it. And he usually, Tommy and you folks at home too, has the ability, as you know, to throw it for strikes. But pitching in the National League West, when you have a turn through Denver, Colorado, I will to forever believe that it changes you for a start or two because you change who you are for a start.
Physically, from talking to a lot of people, it takes a little bit out of a pitcher too. In his last start, 8 innings, gave up just 1 run in Denver.
And because of the elevation, leaned on the cut fastball, not the curveball. So the curveball not there yet. 3-1 the count.
I'll tell you what I like about him is that you'll see him at 88, 89, and then when he wants to bury a pitch inside like that, he'll go to 92 or 93.
Well, let's talk about a pitcher that doesn't throw 98, that believes in his fastball. It's imperative, but it doesn't always happen.
And if you miss with it, it doesn't always work either. See, it works when you throw 98.
So step into the box with us here. Is there any chance he pitches backwards here, 3-1 with the base open?
I think he can because you have Bonifacio in the pitcher spot. So very easily can. He might not see another fastball.
There you go.
Change up.
Change up into the dirt.
And I think as a hitter, sometimes you have to commit to that thinking also. You have to look at the situation, first base open, where you're hitting in the lineup, and if he blows a fastball by it, you just have to take it. Because now you can get anything. 3-2.
So that mind has been scrambled by Kennedy, who misses in, and he's angry with himself. Missed with a fastball in. What was he trying to do there? Hit the inside corner.
I think he was just trying to show the fastball because he had thrown a changeup the pitch before, and he figured if he could get the inside part of the plate, he'd get him. And again, because he had just thrown the changeup, the fastball doesn't have to be 98.
Tommy Hutton, longtime Major League broadcaster, fine career as a player as well. 15 years behind the microphone with the Marlins as that one sails up and away to Emilio Bonifacio.
We've had a lot of fun in South Florida over the last 15 years.
I tell you really have. We never overlook it and are always proud when the Marlins come to town. And that's why I mentioned the ballpark right away. Because you've become, I would imagine, as a broadcaster, you know people are watching with the 1-0 coming. Outside 2-0. But it'll be exciting for you regularly to see Fannies in those seats as well.
Yeah, it really is. We've had a couple of tours of the new site, the new ballpark. It's going to be state of the art. That's the best way to put it. State of the art.
Conversation here. This is a little bit as Kennedy tries to get out of this inning. This is some of the steps along the way. Boy, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's actually a few months ago. It's much further along the lower bowl. There's a lot of seats already in, but a little different roof structure and movement than here at Chase Field.
The 2-0 popped it up into the seats. It goes 2-1 the count.
But enough, Darren, to keep the rain and the humidity out.
So now, I think because of that, you need to wear ties all the time.
They stop it.
Bases are loaded.
It's taken us a long time to go Tommy Bahama polo look.
Bases are loaded. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Blew the fastball right by him. Bonifacio may be overswinging a bit. He is hitless in his last 10 with runners in scoring position.
You guys had Bonifacio a little bit. He's a streaky player. When you get him at the right time, he can be exciting.
Curveball, there's Montero again.
But then there are other times that the Bonifacio surfaces that swings at a lot of pitches out of the zone.
Emilio's saying he got hit by that pitch. He's saying that got me in the foot. We're going to continue the discussion. Edwin Rodriguez will come out. Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire, they'll talk about it.
I would think, and we'll get a chance to see.
Oh, it hit him.
It got him.
It hit him.
This is where Titchener needs to check with the third base umpire. And I would guess that's what Edwin Rodriguez was asking. Get some help. He's got a good view down there. Looked like the ball hit him.
Yeah, right up above the shoe. Up above the laces there. 3-2 outside, ball 4. So justice is served, I guess, and Kennedy with a rare walk. Arizona so many times last year bitten by the bases loaded walk. We haven't seen it as much this year. We're tied at 1.
Umpires will always say they don't make up a call for a bad call, but you wonder about that. The out that Kennedy has, though, he now faces the pitcher, even though Sanchez had a base hit last time.
Roberts weighing at third. Fastball 0-1 the count.
I think I remember a few years ago when we switched off. We were talking about it on our telecast. It was in South Florida. The inning that I was over here and Gracie was over there, the Marlins squeezed.
Oh, that's right.
But I don't think this is a situation.
You ever try it with the force play? Would you ever try that?
You know, Sanchez isn't the greatest of bunters. I think you don't want to run yourself out of the inning. You'd like to give Coughlin a chance to hit. He's on deck. So I don't think we'd look for that here.
And if you're Ian, you're dreaming of a ground ball. 1-2 the count to Sanchez. Now, if you're just joining us, Tommy Hutton in the broadcast booth with us, the fine color analyst of the Marlins. A home run, Justin Upton in the first, and now the Marlins with a bases loaded walk here in the fourth, tied at 1. Topper off the plate. This won't be easy. Stevens only plays out in front of him, and it's 2-1. What tip of the cap down there to the visiting pitcher, Anibal Sanchez. He comes up big.
Who says you can't have productive outs? You know, people talk about striking out and outs and out. There's a productive out right there. He didn't strike out. He didn't do a double play. The high chopper gets a run in, and everybody on the Marlins side is happy.
Well, especially for a pitcher to do a couple of things there, to avoid a double play, to not, as you said, strike out. And so Sanchez drives in a run. This is 5th career RBI. As that one is low. 1-0 the count. Well, with these two pitchers going, you kind of had a feeling that it wouldn't be a 15 to something score, didn't you?
Not quite like last night.
Yeah, that was kind of, and it's getting kind of hard to explain to our fans what's going on, as that one hit him. Well, that hit Coughlin. That got him. I mean, there's no debating that. Kennedy has left the strike zone a couple of times, and I mean big in this inning.
Yeah, this pitch really gets away. I mean, that's one that you can't get out of the way of. If you stand pat, it probably goes behind, but your instinct is to do what Coughlin did, and then it catches him on the foot.
So now suddenly here in the 4th inning, a good point just being made too. The guys in the truck. Diamondbacks fortunate literally that it hit him. That's a run if it doesn't hit him.
Another wild pitch. He's already thrown 2.
Omar Infante. What has he brought to this club?
He's brought steadiness. He's so smooth at second base. He's only made 1 error this year. He's starting to hit a little bit better. He certainly doesn't have the power of a Dan Uggla, who played second base for so many years for the Marlins.
Omar takes a cut fastball high.
Then again, Uggla's hitting 178 for the Braves going into play today.
And there was a presence there of Infante that has started to piece the defense together a little bit more in the infield. Your outfield catches everything. As that one went back to the cut fastball for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, the young outfield is young and they can fly and they're pretty good defensively. Yeah.
Base is full. Spins him out of there. 2-1 the count.
Generally, too, Infante is going to give you a solid at bat. And with Kennedy appearing to be all over the place, I say this and he might chase a pitch out of the zone, but generally he's going to give you a good at bat.
2 of 5 with the bases loaded this year. Ian just went right after him with the fastball. Justin's got a long way to go. And it's a row or 2 back.
Speaking of outfields, yours can go get them too pretty well.
I think so, and it's funny you say that because about a week and a half ago the discussion opened up, Tommy, and you folks at home might remember, talking about these 3, this trio. No offense to Willie Bloomquist because he's a good athlete, but this trio has stepped into another level, and that's mainly Parra and the ground he covers, and Justin, simply put, getting better. Justin's just getting better.
And a great throw by Parra last night as well.
2-2 the count. Bouncing ball out to Stephen Drew. Couple of runs in the inning. Well, you bring the fine announcer for the Marlins over, and he gets things going offensively for his club. We'll let him stay.
On Fox Sports Arizona, the D-backs trailing the Marlins here in the bottom of the fourth by the score of 2-1. Brad Steinke, and joined by Tommy Hutton. And Tommy, you know, I had the good fortune of working with you for 3 years back at Whammy TV from 98 to 01.
I remember that.
Tommy, I had the misfortune of coming after the first World Series championship and then leaving before the second one. But those were some good teams. But I just remember waiting out a lot of rain delays up there at what was used to be called Pro Player Stadium.
Yeah, it was just bad timing on your part.
Yes, exactly.
0-1 the count. Thank you, Brad. And you also, as that one is outside, have played baseball in this ballpark middle of the summer.
Yeah, not in this ballpark, but in old Municipal
in this city,
Stadium.
I should have said.
Municipal Stadium in Phoenix in the late 60s in the Coast League. In the summer, I can remember in the summer one time standing down in the bullpen by the pitcher that was warming up, and a guy had a radio in the seats, and it was like 106. It was 8 o'clock game too.
What an experience! I mean, what an experience to play baseball. Did they even have batting practice at 115?
I don't know. Lasorda was our manager, and we had a pretty good team, so we might not have had BP.
All right, I have it. I have it. By the way, Justin had gotten hits in 5 consecutive at bats, not plate appearances, but at bats. Make it 6 if you include the home run today. The record is 7, the team record, so they find a way to retire the red-hot Justin Upton. We're talking about Anibal Sanchez when you came over and sat down, and the completeness when the Diamondbacks just peeking a little bit and listening into their scouting reports saying we're expecting all 4 pitches with command, lefty righty. I mean, that's some respect.
And he's one of those guys. This is what has been impressive about Sanchez this year. In the past, he'd be a little more inconsistent. You'd get that nice start every maybe 3 starts and maybe every 4 starts. He's starting to put together more consistent outings. And if you think about it, he has 5 complete games in his career. Of course, one of those a no-hitter against the Diamondbacks. 2 of his other complete games are 1-hitters. And he's just coming off a 1-0 5-hitter up in San Francisco.
What changed? What has changed for him? What has been, besides just time served, has somebody gotten a hold of him and helped him grow?
Health.
That's
First
true.
time in his career last year that he had a healthy season, almost through 200 innings, won 13 games.
There's that changeup we're talking about. You saw the CenturyLink high-speed internet pitch. 95 for Sanchez, Kennedy 93. That changeup, though, wasn't 95. That was a fabulous pitch.
And command of all those pitches. When he came up in the Red Sox organization. He had Tommy John surgery. As a Marlin, he had shoulder surgery. So he's finally healthy.
He'd love to get to 200, wouldn't he? Innings.
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of a chance for him to show himself this year. Here's Chris Young.
It's like a lot of young players. He's more focused. He's at the point in his career where he's getting confidence now.
He's a winner because his team has been a winner just about each and every year, but he'll tell you that this is his time and his season to take it to the next level. You know, those guys talking a lot about Sanchez. They were already ready, as we said, in that locker room. 1-2 the count.
The thing that has surprised me about Anibal this year is that his fastball 93, 94, every once in a while 95.
There's that wicked changeup. Tommy, thank you. I'm told that for your efforts here, we have a moon pie for you.
Hey, I'll take it over to the booth. I'll have it. Thanks,
that'll mean you'll have 2 over there, then.
Thanks.
Tommy Hutton joining us up in the broadcast booth. Now by a score of 2-1, Logan Morrison to lead it off. Mark Grace joins us back in the broadcast booth, and he is back. And of course, I'm bringing you back. It's been a big battle.
I mean, every time I leave, you.
Well, except for over the last 2 weeks. That's where you can't use
you
that.
tend to lose.
Yeah, that hasn't actually happened the last 2 weeks.
That's Gonzo. I'm sorry about that. That's usually when Gonzo's up here. I leave for 1 inning.
I know. Tommy Hutton came over. The offense cranked up, and
trust me, they're clamoring for me to stay over there. The Florida fans are all emailing in. We need Grace to stay. We're scoring runs. We're beating the Diamondbacks.
Right.
What have you done?
Why? I sent in 4 emails to keep you there. I knew it was email the booth in South Florida. Kevin in Palm Beach, that was me.
That was you.
Oh, you bet. 1-2 the count.
And Anibal Sanchez strikes out the side. Oh, my
How good was that
changeup?
Those change-ups that he threw that inning.
Drove in a run on his own.
Well, you're back. You were over there with the professional announcer talking about runs, but now you're back over here. High fly ball center field. Young looks up, and that one disappears.
Golly.
Logan Morrison into the balcony.
Well, that didn't look like that ball was going to go that far, but
7th home run of the year.
It certainly did. On a line. My goodness. Just kind of certainly not over swinging at all. A pitch up. He just puts a nice crisp swing on it, and it goes, as you said, into the balcony up there in left center field. My goodness. Way out of here.
I mean, over 2 rows of seats, by the way. Into the second row is big swing, Gabby Sanchez. And Gabby is erased. Earn your keep over there.
Since I'm back now, you can pick up a D-backs Pepsi Mac value pack, and for just $19, get a lower level bleacher ticket, a regular size hot dog, a 24-ounce Pepsi, and a 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max. Every game, every day, folks. So visit dbacks.com/value or call 602-462-4787.
So now Greg Dobbs.
Tommy Hutton couldn't read those like that.
Well, he was almost here. I almost got it done. I worked really hard. Sending emails to the Marlins television network. Doing everything I can. 0-1 the count. Greg Dobbs. 1-1 the count. So Kennedy with the long ball. That has not bitten him at all this year. That's just 6 allowed. That's not a daunting total one bit. He goes to an off-speed pitch, changes up on him, and 1-2 is the count. But Sanchez looks
really good.
Moneyball Sanchez tonight looks really good. You're going to have to work Arizona to get this one tonight. Curveball called high. Hasn't had the consistency. We were telling Tommy Hutton this. Hasn't had the consistency that he has wanted with that pitch tonight.
He got very wild last inning.
Fought off the other way. Ryan Roberts sets, fires. I'm told we've got a great trivia question for all you fans out there.
Oh, we need one.
Our All-Star Game trivia. Who is the only Florida Marlin to be named the All-Star Game MVP? The only Florida Marlin to be named the All-Star Game MVP.
Well, I know this one.
Do you now?
I do, so I'm not going to say anything.
You sure?
I do. I do.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe some of our former players will text in. You discuss it at home. See what you think, as that one is a strike. Not a real strong question tonight, though. Kind of disappointed in that one.
Kind of disappointed?
The 1-1. Breaking ball. There he goes. He's staying stubborn. He drops it in there. Oh, you bet he got a commitment. Oh, they don't call it on Mike Stanton.
Ian Kenny's going to have to come back out on the field. He was already walking into the dugout. Jerry Davis said no. He said the big old youngster was able to check it up, and he was right. He did check it up.
You're right. So he comes back with a fastball. Stanton fires that bat down. So Arizona now trails it by a pair on a long home run off the bat of Logan Morrison. With some work to do if they want to continue to roll. They have won 7 consecutive games. They have won 15 of their last 17. And it will take a comeback to become the only team in the game to win 20 games here in the month of April. And they're going to work against a pitcher who has been on top of his game. No questions asked. One mistake he made tonight, and it was hit out.
One bad curveball went deep into the seats and left off the bat of Justin Upton. And he's throwing one of the best changeups we've seen from anybody all season long, Darren.
He really has a feel for it. It's been a big key to his success this year. There's the man who took advantage of the one mistake. One and one the count. Tries to bury that fastball in. 2-1. Miguel fly to center field back in the second inning. He's got 16 hits in his last 11 games. High pop, change up. And there to make the play is Chris Coughlin.
Well, I think I was wrong. I didn't know the answer to our trivia question. I thought it was Moises Alou in Pittsburgh.
Is it Conine, Jeff Conine? It was. And one of our fans on D-Backs booth on Twitter, Michael Matera, also Laura Lowry, both guessed Jeff Conine. So, well, you got it right, Gracie.
Yeah.
So well done.
I probably should have known I was there. What a dummy.
Curveball, and it's a strike to Miranda. By the way, Jenny M. hopped on D-Backs booth on Twitter. She says, call the commissioner, vetoed the trade. We need Gracie back. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball.
Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself.
If we could go ahead and have that removed from our Twitter, please, because I'm really still working hard to get the Florida Marlins back on the phone. Esmeralda Vasquez warming. Oh, 0-2 the count.
I think they realize that runs are going to be tough to get against Anibal Sanchez. So if they get a base runner, Kennedy's due up 4th, and he's already thrown 100 pitches through 5 innings. So his night might be over. Oh, look out, Eric Young.
That's the
Steve
kind
right
of changeup he has tonight. Nothing tells the story of a great changeup more than that.
Man. Look out, Eric Young.
Levi got out of the way. Miranda chases a pitch that he thought was a fastball coming out of the hands of Sanchez and fooled badly. Well, what Gerardo Parra does here will quite possibly determine if Ian Kennedy heads out to the mound. Inside, 1-0 the count. A couple of fellow Venezuelans dueling here. You watch from the bench, you stay mentally ready. If it's a base hit, you're done.
Change up. It's to the point now where that change, he could tell these guys he's throwing it, and I don't think they can hit it. That's how good it is. It's like the old Randy Johnson slider. He could tell you it was coming, you still couldn't hit it. And then back it up with a fastball, and that just makes you incredibly tough.
One and two the count. Sean Burroughs waits on deck.
Oh dear.
Fought off a pitch that was in. Looked like he buried the slider in that time.
Oh, what a great play we had down the third base line by that young man. He saws him off with that little slider there. How about that? How about that?
Meantime, fly ball center field, and that one is put away. Great play a moment ago. Great pitching tonight. We'll see if he goes back out. Didn't grab his glove to head on out to the mound to go to work. He grabbed his hat. He grabbed his glove. He is not heading up the stairs. He's heading down the stairs.
He went to the showers, didn't he?
So Kennedy is done. Our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen answered by Esmerling Vasquez. There were just moments where it left him tonight, whether it was command, not quite sure what it was, release point, but Kennedy on occasion would just kind of step out of the norm for him.
Yeah.
We'll find out after the game. We'll find out over the next few days. You know he's going to go to work on it. Remember, he has been on some kind of a roll. Kennedy, a 1.87 in his last 8 starts coming into tonight. Maybe time for his mates to pick him up.
Esmerling Vasquez coming in and getting in a little bad habit of walking the leadoff man. his last couple outings. Let's see if he can squeeze past that.
Roberts plays it up with the Diamondbacks logo on his jersey, and Miranda with a tap dance around the bag does a fine job. Hey, don't forget, you can win tickets to Major League Baseball's Fan Fest. Watch our telecast on Fox Sports Arizona during June for the Fan Fest word of the game. Look for the key word during the broadcast and go to foxsportsarizona.com. It all starts tomorrow. The word of the game. Here is Emilio Bonifacio.
You made me explain that to me?
Well, we'll tell you what the word of the game is, then you go to foxsportsarizona.com, you enter it, and you may right then win tickets to FanFest. We'll tell you on the air whatever word I come up with each night. That one is slapped into left field, a base hit.
Oh, you're going to be the guy.
Roberts played in, and he hit it right over his head.
So if it's like the.
Just one word.
And.
No, it won't be those words.
Give me an example.
Not like drawn.
Drawn?
Roberts was drawn in to respect the bunt ability of Bonifacio, and he took advantage of it.
Well, hopefully it won't be one of those words either.
But that's what happened. That's what great speed that can do, and the ability to drop down a bunt. One hit for the Diamondbacks. It was a homer. Oh, my goodness. Charging in, it's thrown away. Bonifacio races all the way around. I'm curious what Miranda was thinking was going on with.
Well, I can tell you exactly what happened. Vasquez missed a sign. He's supposed to go to the plate because Miranda's creeping in. Now he throws over.
You're right. He was creeping in for the bunt.
Yeah, he's creeping in for the bunt. There's really no reason to be picking off there anyway. They're giving you an out with a bunt. Now, and the Diamondbacks have shot themselves in the foot missing signs a little bit this year.
All right. 1-0 the count. Bonifacio wasn't buying. Infield all the way in. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Boy, well, how about that?
Well, if you're if you're Vasquez here, with the kind of stuff you've got, you should strike out the pitcher. You should. So go ahead and strike out the pitcher and get out of this inning. Don't worry about that error.
That's the top of the third. Roberts flags it. Only plays the first. Sanchez twice tonight has helped himself.
Really hurt.
Wait, buddy.
Yeah, just putting the ball in play. We preach about it and we talk about it. Putting the ball in play. You give yourself a chance. The opposing pitcher has done it twice and picked up 2 RBIs. Just putting the ball in play. And the great speed by Bonifacio doesn't hurt either. He's been the star of this game, and then some. Oh, just helping himself. Love that.
He's having another, I won't say a night to remember. The run that he has been on of late. Anibal Sanchez is having another night to remember. Bat snaps, the play is made, but a huge run on a hard to explain error. All thrown away.
Making his lucky stars after giving up that run.
asking about it, and I can understand why. It's Gila River Casino's Kachinko. Find out how you can play and learn right here at the ballpark. Head on out to the interactive kiosk right near Section 111 during regular season home games. It's a blast. You'll never forget the experience, and we love our partnership with Gila River Casinos. Enjoyed having it around the house all winter. The kids loved it, and you'll love it when we televise from out there in the second half. Sean Burroughs is called upon to pinch hit. Look at that. That's a great shot. Burroughs with his third base hit back in the big leagues.
Sean Burroughs saying, what's the big problem with this guy Sanchez? First pitch he sees from him, he promptly whacks it out into right field for a base hit. Diamondbacks got to get going.
Burroughs has really seen regular action as a pinch hitter. Only one start. He started game 2 of a doubleheader on the recent road trip, but Kirk Gibson is using him pretty regularly coming off that bench. So now Ryan Roberts. He has walked, he has struck out. His batting average just went way up when Burroughs reached. There's a strike. I say that because with no one on base, opponents hit just above 200 against Roberts. You put runners on, and that average bounces much higher. As you can see, up to 373. One and one the count. One and one. Defense straight up. Burroughs isn't going anywhere. The one thing Roberts has done, while he hasn't been getting the hits that he wants over the last couple of weeks, he's still been walking a bunch. That pitch dives low. Ryan Roberts, in his last 3 weeks of games, is hitting .237. It has almost as many walks as hits. That's a 350 plus on base. That's the season.
Anything over 400 is outstanding. I mean, 380 is very good.
Bouncing ball backing up to play, it is Dobbs. Throws into the dirt.
Nice play by Infante to save an error and save what could have been a big inning.
Well, Dobbs started heading in the wrong direction when he started retreating to play that ball.
That he did, and then all his weight going the other way. And a really good play on the short hop by Infante.
Kelly Johnson digs in. He has grounded out twice. Once to the first baseman, once to the third baseman. And that in the dirt on a backhand. The play is made by Buck.
Well, they're making all kinds of plays in the dirt, are these defensive-minded fish.
Florida's a day and a half away from heading home. That's one way that they look at it. They were talking about that in the locker room today. No matter where you're from during your season, that's your home, and they have certainly enjoyed their surroundings. They went to San Francisco, L.A., now here to Arizona. 3-city trip. Tomorrow's game on a getaway day scheduled for 4:40, which means it starts essentially 3 hours later at the clock on the East Coast. Game ends. They'll be home at some point. They'll be just fine. 1-1 the count.
They will be. We all get homesick.
That long flight, and they have an off day, so
yeah,
they'll be fine.
They'll be just fine.
On the flip side, the Diamondbacks wrap up a wraparound series in South Florida
with a night game.
With a night game and a game the next day.
We'd like to thank the folks with the Marlins for doing that to us. Not very big league.
Change up. That has been big league, though, tonight for him.
Yeah. Wow. Awfully impressive.
You talked about Kelly letting the ball travel and using the whole field in our open. Tough to do with that changeup, though. And then you see that right behind the changeup. This is as close to perfect as we've seen a pitcher in a while. There's been one mistake, and here it is. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. Just one, and he happened to hit it.
Yeah, big old hanging curveball.
And if you were with us back then, the very next batter was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count. Hot shot the other way. What a pretty piece of hitting. Roberts thinks about it, not with that arm.
Don't even think about it, Ryan Roberts. Now down 3 runs. Justin Upton just continues to hammer the baseball. Doesn't matter who's out there right now. He's on some kind of hot streak. Bang. I mean, that's before Infante can even move. It's past him. All of a sudden, Stephen Drew, he could get some revenge by doing a little damage here to Anibal Sanchez since he got smoked by a pitch earlier in the ball game.
I'm pretty sure that Sanchez, who has been fabulous tonight, hit his spot.
So you're calling for a bench clearing incident. You're calling for
an eye. Hope I don't upset our loyal Diamondback fans. I'm actually thinking that with what happened last night and as comfortable as Arizona was, I'm not surprised at all. The Marlins, we got a preview when their skipper Edwin Rodriguez said, "I'd like make them move their feet, maybe pitch in some." He brought that up on his own. Fastball popped up.
And there's that one sails into the seats down the third base line.
Now I love a good Donnybrook.
I was going to say, it sounds like my partner's calling for eye for an eye. Attaboy, Darren.
Not tonight.
I like that.
No, sorry. I don't think we're heading down that path tonight.
Yep.
It's what they like to call just good old-fashioned baseball right there.
Yep. We're going to clear them tonight, folks.
Well, I'm not feeling it tonight. I actually understand why Anibal Sanchez did that. Steven fights it off down the line. And into the seats it goes. Drew struck out also in the 4th inning. Steven hitting .321 with runners in scoring position.
A pitch that was really on the outer third, and it was still tied up by, which tells you right there that he's thinking about that changeup. And you can't blame him.
The 1-2. Breaking ball, ground ball. Easy chance for Sanchez. To the bag, Gabby. Meantime, Anibal Sanchez has been on the spot tonight. handed a few runs tonight, certainly. Mercedes-Benz game summary. Ian Kennedy with a bases loaded walk. That cost the Diamondbacks a run. Then the pitcher follows right behind and just makes contact. That's all he did. Anibal Sanchez making contact. 2 runs would cross the plate. On a throwing error that moved Bonifacio all the way to third.
He did it again.
He did do it again. He put it onto the ground, and so 2 RBIs tonight. But again, that runner would not have been at third on what turned out to be a botched pickoff play with Juan Miranda coming in to cover what he thought was a bunt defense. He's lucky he didn't throw it through Miranda, and Sanchez has been great. Aaron Heilman, a changeup. Aaron takes the assignment now as Heilman 0-1 the count. Overall this year, numbers have been hard on Heilman.
Numbers have been difficult on him, but it's really about a 2-game poor performance, and really poor performance when his shoulder was bothering him early in the season. Gave up like 7 in 1 inning, something like that, and that'll be tough for an ERA. It'll take you almost half a season to get that back to respectability. Heilman's been throwing the ball much better of late.
2-1 the count.
Struck out the side his last outing in Houston.
Last 2 outings have been scoreless, and he has struck out 4, as you mentioned, in those last 2 outings. Fastball. Ryan Roberts goes right to work, keeps the feet moving. So he is in position to throw in time for the out. Hey, don't forget, help Fox Supports Arizona and Donate Life Arizona. Help us reach our goal of 2,000 new registered organ and tissue donors. Visit donatelifeaz.org to register. Here's Logan Morrison,
who hit a really far homer his last time up.
Oh, how about that? Well, I would almost welcome that into your open, talking about opposite field hitting, even though it wasn't dead the other way. That was just a pretty piece of hitting, like you told us about Kelly Johnson. Just putting a nice pass in the baseball and letting it travel deeper in the stands.
Not trying to hit it into the light towers, just trusting the talent. Look out, Kelly Johnson. That one had a little heat on it as well.
You were talking about this coming on the air, this type of approach.
That's just a nice, smooth, firm swing, and I mean, way out of here.
And that late signal might have been to one of his teammates saying, thanks for the help on what you saw. That's about what that looked like. Oh boy, Gabby Sanchez drives it deep left field. 5-1. So Gabby, who homered last night, now has 9 home runs. Folks, this man trotting around the bases has 35 RBIs.
First pitch breaking ball, and he just crunches it right out in that little triangle area down the left field line. He's got enough on it. Out it goes, and these Marlins have scored in 4 straight innings now, 2 in the 4th, 1 apiece in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Back to the
these guys don't wait around. I mean, they are first pitch swinging. Yep. They're big league. They're good.
Oh, this is a good club.
They're good.
Arizona put it on them last night, but they knew that in these 3 games they had their hands full, and they're great away from their own ballpark. A little nubber, it's chopped foul. They look and they see what has gone on tonight. The Marlins, see Washington hammering Philly 10-2. They understand that they can grab a game in the standings.
That's Cliff Lee getting hit hard.
Move to 2 back. Arizona already knows that San Francisco lost to St. Louis 4-3. So the Diamondbacks will go to bed still all alone in first, no matter what occurs in this game. They have 9 more outs to play with. For Aaron Heilman, by the way, he has now been scored upon in 7 of his 16 outings. 0-2 the count.
Been piecing together a lot better of late, though.
You're right. His last 2 have
Come
been
on,
good.
Darren. Help me out here.
Fouled back to the screen. That's what I'm here to do.
Come on.
We get Tommy Hutton back. Tommy.
I go talking about how well Aaron Heilman's been throwing. Well, he's just been torn on all these times. Well, you're killing me.
Tommy.
That's true.
No. You just stay right there, Tommy.
Has a great chance.
I like arguing with my partner. You get along with yours.
1-2 the count. You guys are all getting along, agreeing. Oh, all the emails, they love you in Florida, Gracie. That had to be just syrupy sickening.
Well,
2-2 the count.
Everybody loves to be appreciated, and I just don't get enough of that around here.
I'll just get used to it. The 2-2. Lifted. Back of short. Shallow left. Great running play by Stephen Drew.
As we go to break, Aaron Heilman's doing just fine.
Live presented by Century Link. Todd Walsh along with Joe Borowski. Joe, this was not Ian Kennedy's best. Certainly, what did you see?
We've grown accustomed to seeing Ian have great command with all of his pitches. He didn't have that tonight. I'll break down what he was doing and why it affected all of his pitches and why it didn't allow him to get back into a groove.
He only gave up 3 runs, Joe.
That's your number one. He still managed the game and kept it within reach.
All right, we'll see you then, guys. Lots of baseball left, though. Back to you.
We're looking forward to that. Arizona winners of 15 of their last 17, trying to rally late. Just spoke with a gentleman next door, Rich Walls and Tommy Hutton, who call Marlins games, hoping to get Tommy back over here, as that one is a high sky. Into the corner it goes. How much distance does it have? Not enough. Young dropped that back shoulder underneath it, and they said simply, this is the best changeup Sanchez has had all year long in the start.
Well, it's tough to argue that, even though 3 of his last 4 outings, he has not given up a run.
It's amazing.
I mean, he's only given up 1. It's been awfully impressive. Just 3 base hits. He just continues to roll.
He has given up 4 runs total in his last 37 innings.
Golly. Pound in the strike zone.
What that changeup has done, and he has the perfect uncomfortable diet for opposing hitters. It's changeup and sometimes for a strike. That one is it. It dives away, and then he'll follow it, not just with a fastball with some teeth on it, but a perfectly located fastball.
That's exactly right. In and out with it. There's the changeup. Well, take the Diamondbacks wherever you go this season, folks. Listen up, Darren Sutton. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every D-backs game on demand on your computer. Visit dbacks.com for details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
There it is. Got the numbers right there, checking on all the numbers. That slider backs him out of there. 2-2 the count. Miguel has flied to center field on a couple of occasions. He has 6 hits in his last 12 at bats.
Oh dear.
Golly.
I mean, right in on the thumbnails of Miguel Montero. And here comes that changeup, folks. Let's see.
Way out front, pulled it.
That's about the result you've seen all night from that changeup. Boy, the results have just been, I mean, fascinating how good that changeup's been.
You know, he threw 20 changeups against the San Francisco Giants of the 111 pitches. What does a pitch like that do? Well, he threw 16 of them for strikes against the Giants.
Well, you can see that pitch would have probably ended up 1.5 feet outside. It's just got such great late dives. That one's ripped. That was a changeup that stayed up. And Miranda just ripped it into right field for a base hit.
And if you start looking for that bullpen and panic, he's at just 90 pitches. He's manageable. That one up, as you mentioned. Gerardo Parra now. His last outing, he threw 44 fastballs, 39 sliders, and 20 changeups. Do you almost feel when a guy's in a role like this obliged, I'm not saying you per se, but hitters, to swing at almost every fastball because it looks straight?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we saw right there.
You don't, well, it's the old adage, get him before he gets you.
Yes.
And the way he's going to get you is with that devastating changeup. So you try to hit that first good fastball you see.
So that being said, he doesn't throw it for a strike then.
Not if he can help it.
With intention.
So that was, those are 2 pitches are probably balls off the plate.
That's why I asked you the question.
But because they're fastballs, Gerardo Parra feels the need to swing at him because he's basically telling anybody that's paying attention, I'm not comfortable hitting off his changeup. Well, none of the Diamondbacks have been comfortable hitting off that changeup. It's that good. Well, he's going to get a heaping helping of it. Well, he's going with the fastball in. Smartly. Up and in off the plate. And I would imagine John Buck's going to put that wiggle down with the 4 fingers. Let's see if he's going to. Let's go in on the catcher, see if he puts it down. 4-finger wiggle. There it is. Well, staying with the fastball. Interesting. I think that's a mistake.
The 1-2, let's watch. Didn't get the call, made a perfect pitch.
It was close. He's just been that good. He's been that good.
So 24 changeups tonight of the 94, so a much even higher percentage.
Yep, now he wants it.
Left it up twice now. He's left that pitch up. Miranda does not go first to third. Runners on first and second.
They left that up in the strike zone. That's back-to-back hitters now that have gotten a changeup up in the zone. They just rifle it into right field. Miranda decided to stay at second base, even though he could have easily gotten a third. There wasn't even a throw.
So now Xavier Nady. A couple of days ago on getaway day in Houston, Texas, Nady was the hero. It was his late hit in the ball game that played a couple of runs, gave Arizona the lead, and wrapped up a 6-1 road trip. Watch Ryan Roberts in this shot. Love that. Get on in here.
Come on, get down.
That was all due to Nady. Swings right through that one.
perfectly placed fastball, knee-high outside corner.
And by the way, Nady's in the middle of, there it is, an 8-game hitting streak. And in that time, he's got 9 hits, hitting .346. He's going to walk as well.
Foul
Tipped
tip.
it.
Yep.
He's still
0-2.
believing it. You know, he's given up a couple of hits with that changeup and threw a great one with conviction right there.
You're right. That was a very good changeup. And it really shouldn't be surprising.
Oh, and 2 the count. Matt Williams keeps an eye on Juan Miranda. Outside, 1-2 the count. Popped it up. Looked like an off-speed pitch again. There to put it away on what has been a fabulous night for Sanchez is his right fielder, Mike Stanton. Geyer high up above here at Chase Field, and we welcome you inside on a gorgeous, gorgeous mild evening. We know the days are getting hotter, and we're climbing closer to triple digits. School is out, but the evenings still are very nice. Take a walk outside. Folks are enjoying outdoor baseball while they can. Micah Owings receives the assignment. And the first pitch popped up. Miguel Montero races.
Nice play by Montero. He had a long way to go there.
And it wasn't that high.
Yeah, it was a bad handled job. And he just turned tail and went right to it and snared it there with that big left paw. That's a really good athletic play by Miguel Montero. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, the numbers on Micah certainly earned his opportunity to stay in the big leagues with a big start on the road in Colorado. Pitched very effectively. Some roster decisions made, and he was here, still here. Micah Owings and Sean Burrows, along with some members of the pitching staff, came out today for some early work against players in the system for the Diamondbacks. What I mean by that is that one is rolled off the back of Buck. Drew, long throw, and he got him a fine play
That's a couple of back-to-back fine plays by a couple of good athletes.
Shortstop Emilio Bonifacio.
That's a long throw across the diamond to get bucked by a couple of steps. Nice play by Drew. Turned himself into a very good major league shortstop. Very good.
Popped up and into the seats it goes.
Well, these Marlins swing, don't they?
They do. They kind of remind me, of course, without the homers, of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, well, nobody hits homers like that team.
They both just
Didn't they
swing
come in
all
here
the
and hit
time.
like 6 solo shots off of Dan Herron one night?
Yes, they did.
Coming unglued swings.
Still one of my favorite teams after that visit.
Oh, Zito Gaston, he had the boys swinging it.
That's who the Florida Marlins are this year. They're trying to pick up another half game in the standings after they knew that Washington batted about Philadelphia. And Washington is coming to town.
Watch it. Don't get hurt. There you go.
He gave it a run, boy. Guys are laying it all out for this pitching staff, even though they're down 4. That's good to see. Great defense this inning. But anyway, members of the extended spring for the Diamondbacks, which now is just up the road at Salt River Fields. Guys that are going off to short season brought about 4 or 5 pitchers over. Let them pitch against the big boys today. That one lifted left field.
Don't get hurt over there, Gerardo. There you go. Nice play.
3 of them in the inning.
Very well said. Nice going, Michael Owens.
He's 27 years old, 5-1 as a scorer. He is our APS Energy All-Star, and he has been some kind of on track. The story, not just the changeup, but everything.
Everything. The located fastballs, the great changeup. Made one bad pitch all night, and he's just really had the Diamondbacks at bay all night long, as that one's skied foul down the right field side.
When he steps right up to 100 pitches with that last offering, you can see what he has done in his last 5 starts. It was with 100% total confidence that Edwin Rodriguez announced that he had no concerns about what has been a fading and overused bullpen. As that pitch is outside, as Edwin said simply, and I quote, "I've got my guy on the mound tonight. We'll be just fine." And he's pitching like an ace. Taking a step into baseball history. It was on this date, May 31st, 1938, that Lou Gehrig played in his 2000th consecutive game. You can see the longest current streaks in the major leagues. Dodgers' Matt Kemp at 259. Well, that's incredible, isn't it? It's the most games you ever played in a season.
All of them.
Takes a toll, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
162 games played.
Yeah, I did have a season where I played all 162. Well, I'm sure there was pinch hit appearances in there once in a while, but oh yeah, it's especially in Chicago playing all those day games. It'll get you.
Lou Gehrig knows all about that as well before the night baseball era. 1-2 the count.
That's the way first basemen do it, though, Darren.
I know.
The Graces, the Gehrigs. Well, you know.
That one bounces in there. They used to ride the rail from town to town to play their games.
That's exactly right.
I hear
East Coast stuff.
I hear that's how we're coming back from South Florida after that game.
On the train.
On the train back to Arizona. Marlin set that up. Hot shot, deep right field. Kelly Johnson stays white hot.
Just like that, that's double-figure home runs from Kelly Johnson. 10.
Bolton Holmes homer, $150 Central Arizona Mountain Rescue.
I mean, that got out of here very quickly. Fastball, pulls the hands in nicely. That thing just made it sounded like a cannon. That thing was hit so hard. My goodness, Kelly Johnson, you are some kind of smoking hot right now.
His last 11 games, he has 17 hits. That's only part of the story. Those 17 hits for Kelly, there are 5 doubles, 1 triple, and 6 homers.
I think he was looking for a fastball.
Is that the changeup?
That was the changeup. Justin was committed to fastball, and you know what? If he throws something else, I'm going to swing and miss it. But if it was a fastball, he'd have been there. That time he got the fastball. Now, see, Sanchez got Justin in between now. He's got him guessing. Instead of just going up there and trusting himself, he's got him guessing. And he's guessed wrong back-to-back pitches.
Two and two the count. Kelly Johnson with his 10th home run of the year. As you mentioned, into double digits he goes in a year in which he has spent a majority of the season below 200. Not the last week, though. There's a changeup. That's strike 3. But how hot has he been? We've been tracking it. There's part of the story. 12 extra base hits, more than he had in his previous 41 games.
That's exactly right. And he's just squaring it up like nothing off the end of the bat or being jammed. No bats are breaking. When he's making contact, he is just crushing the baseball.
Pitches in. And with that homer for Kelly Johnson, that now ties him with Robinson Cano for the major league lead among second basemen.
It's good company.
I mean, when you get hot, that hot, that's a lot of homers in a week and a half,
yeah.
Gracie. That pitch is outside. Former Florida Marlin Dan Uggla, by the way, has 7 home runs this year. It's been a tough year for him, hitting 178 in Atlanta. I'm guessing that was probably the last batter faced by Anibal Sanchez.
Pretty impressive, though, wasn't it?
He was fabulous tonight. Johnson impressive, too. brought to you by Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates. Fries. Like us on Facebook during tonight's game. Receive a coupon for huge savings. Fries, fresh food, famous low prices. And by the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. Well, Kirk Gibson took a look out on the mound. He saw Mike Owings, who had just completed his warm-up tosses. Didn't like the matchup. And so he calls to the bullpen. Joe Patterson comes on and goes to work. We'll tell you a little bit about Joe Pa when we come back with a sub-1 ERA. Joe Patterson goes to work. And it's been great work, as we mentioned. 22 appearances, a .77 ERA.
Whoa!
The big sweeping breaking ball locks up Scott Cousins.
That's
opponents.
why. I'm sorry.
Well, they're not doing anything against him. 167.
That's why he was brought into this game to face the left-handed hitters. He is the specialist. But I think he's going to pitch this entire game. You got Coughlin on deck, who's left-handed. Then he's going to have to deal with a right-handed hitter.
Broke his bat.
Just ate him up.
And because of that big sweeping breaking ball that caught our attention yet again, 84 miles an hour, just tore his bat apart.
Center fielder Chris Coughlin.
Because he was diving for that breaking ball. It's been fun to watch, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a good kid, and he's a Rule 5, and then, without going into a long explanation, he just basically fell into the Diamondbacks' lap from the San Francisco Giants organization. Boy, what a great job by Kevin Towers, the GM, to find this man.
Everyone playing a role in the bullpen, everyone. So we want to be careful how we say this, but Kevin, when he put that bullpen together, there are 3 key players in that bullpen that have turned the bullpen around, and they're all brand new. J.J. Putz, David Hernandez, and this young man. These are the 3 key players in the bullpen. Everyone else has had their contributions, but those 3, almost every single outing, have made a contribution. And the Diamondbacks have a true lefty in the bullpen now.
He just mows through left-handers like it's easy to do. It's not easy to do, but Joe Patterson has just been flat out doing it.
Second baseman Omar Infante.
Now he's going to have to face a right-handed hitter, and Omar Infante with a left-hander on deck. Let's see how he fares against Omar Infante, who's 0 for 4 tonight.
That pitch dives low and inside. Patterson, Hernandez, and Putz have anchored a bullpen with a 3.27 ERA. Now, that pen's given up a few runs tonight earlier. But 3.27, the bullpen ERA, it was 7.51 at this point last year. And it's gotten much better thanks to Joe. Much better.
It makes it look easy, doesn't it?
And that man down there keeps an eye on everyone. J.J. Putz. memories. And we go back to Chicago, the South Side. Hank Blaylock with a home run. Eric Gagne, that one sailed out of there. High fives all around. Eric gave it up, none too pleased. It's All-Star Tuesday. We look back. We are going to have a blast here this summer, us Arizonans and all of you that visit. As the boss and his staff, Derek Hall, getting ready for the 2011 All-Star Game. That makes it easier to promote your team and the fact they're hosting the All-Star Game when they go through a month like they've just gone through as well.
They've been the talk of baseball, them and the Red Sox. But they're going to have to do some big-time rallying here. 3 runs down against the Florida Marlins closer.
Leads the National League. Nunez. Leads them in saves with 18. He's having a great year. A 3.12 ERA, but 18 saves. What do we know about him, Gracie? What makes him so good?
Well, he's got a fastball in the low to mid-90s. He's got a very good changeup as well. Decent breaking ball, but he's got one of those changeups a lot like Anibal Sanchez. There's the fastball. That's the one you got to hit right there. But he's taken all the way just in case.
Doesn't look like he walks anybody.
No, he doesn't.
Leo with 18, J.J. Putz with 16, Craig Kimbrell with 15. Hot shot on a line. Nice play out there. Took him a step or two to pick it up.
It was tough luck there for Chris Young. That ball was smoked. Nice play by Morrison. Got a good jump on it.
So now Miguel Montero.
I mean, this ball is just tattooed. You can say that in Arizona, just don't say that in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, that's true. That's a great 1-out 9th inning mention by you. You're still on the ball. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I get a little proud of myself.
1-0 the count. That one is outside. Nunez has pitched here now 7 times. He hasn't really given up much of anything. A 1.29 ERA. Arizona hitting 136 against it.
Gas and a big swing and a miss from Miguel Montero. He was trying to tie it up with that swing. Oh, but can't tie it up.
Base runners.
Yeah. That's kind of what I would.
Intimating.
Yeah.
I think so. That one sails up and out of there. That's the changeup he talked about. He overthrew that one a little bit. Jumping at the plate. So the Marlins trying to lock this one down. And if they do, they improve to 17-10 on the road. Pretty good.
That's amazing. You don't see that from like great Yankee teams or World Championship teams. Big swing and a miss again from Miguel Montero. He was trying to hit his second home run of the at-bat right there.
And he's barking at himself. He knows. He's been around long enough. All these guys in this 07 team, Montero, Drew, Young, Upton, they're not young players anymore. They know. Popped it up.
That was the changeup.
Don't forget about the Dan Patrick Show every morning. Gets going on Fox Sports Arizona at 6 a.m. High-profile guests, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access. And honestly, they have a lot of fun. I mean, that's what really makes it a good show.
They do a great job.
To get your day started right.
Dan Patrick, an amazing talent.
Use all those high-profile guest words and insider access. How about it's just a really fun show to listen to or watch? With no offense to the promotional folks. Here's Juan Miranda. Now, so you're a high-profile guest then?
Well, yeah. You sound surprised.
2 outs.
You ever been on the Dan Patrick Show?
Are you kidding me? I'm not even high-profile in a room with one person in it.
All right.
I've listened to it a bunch.
I've done some big league interviews on Dan Patrick.
I've heard. 1-0 the count. That pitch is in. 2-0 the count. I have to pay Doug and Wolf about $100 for every time I come on their show. To give them a lot of money.
You're on there a lot.
I have to pay them.
Those guys get a lot of days off thanks to you.
The 2-0. High pop. Tonight, the night for the Florida Marlins. Very, very good on the road, and they get back to their winning ways. The losing streak certainly ends, and it was a short one, just a pair. Arizona still has won 7 of their last 8. Let's get it to the post-game show. Still 19 wins in May. Right after the break.